how do you think Trump would handle a roast? After all, this is a man who's made an entire career out of insults. But what happens when the tables are turned? The answer lies in a fiery moment from Bill Burr, who decided to roast Trump on live TV. The result? A full-on toddler tantrum, served up crispy and hot. So what exactly went down? And why did Bill Burr's jokes hit so hard? Let's dive in. Bill Burr, a comedian known for his brutal, no-holds-barred humor, took the stage to roast Trump. But this wasn't just another set. No, this was a comedic masterclass that had everyone in the audience on the edge of their seats. Burr didn't just target Trump's hair or his famous catchphrase, "You're fired." He went much deeper, taking shots at Trump's ego and his notorious insecurities. It's a bold move, given that Trump's reputation is built on an unshakable confidence, or at least that's the facade he projects. But Burr cut through all that, delivering punch after punch that left Trump unable to fight back with his usual bravado. It all started innocently enough, with Burr commenting on Trump's hair. And by innocent, I mean not at all. Burr likened it to a dead squirrel glued to a balloon. It was a hilarious image, but the truth behind it? Trump's hair has been mocked countless times, from comparisons to cotton candy to accusations of a neglected pet living on his head. But this time, Burr nailed it with his description. Yet, this was just the beginning of what was about to unfold. Burr didn't stop there. He then turned his attention to Trump's alleged business genius, or lack thereof. Burr cracked a joke that stung. Trump is so bad at making deals, he could bankrupt a money-printing machine. For someone who has boasted about being a very stable genius, this one had to hurt. Trump, who once claimed to be the master of business, was now the punchline of a joke that questioned his credibility. It was like pulling the rug out from under him, and Burr did it with ease. As if that wasn't enough, Burr dug even deeper into Trump's most vulnerable spot, his insecurity. Burr mocked Trump's narcissistic tendencies, joking that he probably asked his reflection in the mirror, "Who's the fairest of them all?" It's a brutal dig at Trump's constant need for validation, and it hit its mark. Just imagine Trump standing in front of a golden mirror in his tower, fishing for compliments. It's funny because, deep down, it feels like it could be true. But the real knockout punch came when Burr compared Trump to a toddler with nuclear codes, suggesting he needed a timeout. That one definitely didn't land well with the former president. In fact, the audience was left in stitches, while Trump, on the other hand, probably felt his ego deflate faster than a popped balloon. Burr's roast wasn't just funny, it was a slice of truth served up with humor. And that truth, as uncomfortable as it was for Trump, was undeniable. Now, here's the interesting part. Trump, known for his ability to dish out insults but rarely take them in stride, wasn't about to let this roast slide. No, he reacted like someone who had never been told no in his entire life. He threw a tantrum. Instead of shrugging it off, like a seasoned politician, he went full meltdown mode on Twitter. A 3-hour rant filled with misspelled words, baseless insults, and, of course, more insults to Burr's comedy skills. Trump's tweet accusing Burr of not being able to sell out a phone booth was perhaps his weakest comeback. First of all, a phone booth. Who even references those anymore? But second of all, it only made Trump look out of touch and bitter. And let's not even get started on his claim that he didn't know who Bill Burr was. Come on, Donald. We all know you've heard of him, but you're probably just trying to act like you don't care. The only thing this tweet proved was that Trump's fragile ego couldn't handle a roast from a comedian who didn't even break a sweat. But why did Bill Burr's roast hit so much harder than others? After all, Trump has been the subject of countless jokes over the years, so why did this one make such an impact? The answer lies in Burr's approach. Most comedians go for the easy targets: the hair, the spray tan, the tiny hands. But Burr took a different route. He didn't focus on the surface level stuff. No, he went straight for Trump's insecurities and incompetence, pointing out his childish behavior and exposing the emperor's lack of clothes. So to speak, this approach wasn't just effective, it was dangerous. It stripped away Trump's carefully crafted persona as a tough, no-nonsense businessman. Burr's jokes weren't just funny, they were a cold, hard dose of reality. And that's exactly what made them so hard for Trump to take. Trump thrives on being seen as the tough guy, the alpha. But Burr showed him to be a man who couldn't take a joke, a man so fragile that even a comedian's jabs sent him spiraling. What's even more interesting is that for all his bravado, Trump secretly admires comedians. Yeah, that's right. He actually hosted Saturday Night Live at one point. It's like finding out Darth Vader once did stand-up comedy. Trump's complicated relationship with humor is one of the most telling aspects of his character. He loves to be the punchline when it's on his terms, but the minute someone challenges him, he loses it. That's exactly why Burr's roast had such a profound impact. It wasn't just about jokes, it was about confronting Trump with the truth. Something he's rarely had to face in his life. In the end, Burr's roast wasn't just a comedic moment, it was a reflection of the power of humor in the face of authority. Sometimes the best weapon against power isn't a protest or a rally, it's a well-timed joke. Burr reminded us that laughter can level the playing field even when the other side has all the power and influence in the world. Trump's reaction was exactly what we've come to expect from him: a tantrum, a meltdown, and a full-on Twitter rampage. But in the process, he only proved Burr's point. The more Trump tries to project strength, the more his insecurities are exposed. So what does all this tell us? That in the end, Bill Burr didn't just roast Trump, he served him a dose of reality that was much too hot for him to handle. In that, Burr reminded us that sometimes laughter really is the best medicine, especially when it's aimed at those who think they're untouchable. Trump may have survived the roast, but did he really win? Or did Bill Burr just prove that even the most powerful man in the world can be humbled with a few well-placed words? I'll let you decide. But one thing is clear: Burr's comedy might just be the one thing Trump can't handle. And for all his bluster and bravado, that might just be his biggest weakness of all.